All right. So coming to a nice comfortable seat to get started. And before we settle in here, let's just roll the shoulders back a few times. Get all of those cracks out, the tension out. And then let's start to roll forward. And back again. And then just allowing your shoulder blades to roll down your back. You can have hands on thighs, by your side, wherever feels good. Maybe just peek down at feet, see that they're about hips distance apart, ankles are underneath your knees. You can be leaning back to your chair here. You can be sitting a little taller if you want to start to work the core a little bit. So just find a place that feels right for you right now. And then close your eyes if they're not already. And take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Pause at the top. See if you can sip in a little more air. And then open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. Good, let's do that a couple more times. So nice, smooth, deep inhale. Pause. See if you can sip in a little more air. And then sigh the breath out. Welcome, Amy Hillman. All right, one more time. Nice, smooth, deep inhale. Pausing and then just sip in a little more air. Sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. And then with eyes closed, or you can keep them open, just keep a nice, soft, gentle gaze, whatever feels better. Start to find that rhythm of your breath. So inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your nose. Then you might be using your Ujjayi breath here. So constricting the sides of your throat, creating that soft rush of air. Kind of sounds like ocean waves. You can also skip that, but just inhale and exhale through your nose. So whatever is feeling best for you. Do start to bring your attention to your breath, however. Can be noticing the sound of it. You can be noticing how it feels. So that expansion on the inhale, in the front of the body, the sides of the body, the back of the body. And then notice how everything contracts in as you exhale and empty out. If you'd like a little more internal, kind of something to think about, visualization, you can just think of your diaphragm here. So diaphragm sits at the bottom of the rib cage. And then as we inhale, it starts to drop down as we fill up with breath. And then as you exhale, it starts to release back up towards the bottom of the ribs. So it's almost like this bellows. As you're sitting here quietly, as you're paying attention to your breath, notice if there's any tension in your body. So for most of us, that often tends to happen in the shoulders. They start to creep up around the ears. Maybe you're gripping the back of the neck. So let it lengthen, let it be tall, but also find a sense of ease. Perhaps fingers or toes are gripping, perhaps the jaws clenching a little bit. So just finding any spots in your body that might be working a little harder than they need to, and just releasing. And then maybe just noticing how good it feels to just sit here quietly, to slow down, to check in, to kind of make contact with yourself. Sometimes we forget to do that. And we're going to move into some seated cat-cow. So you're welcome to keep your eyes closed if that feels nice for you right now. You can also open them up. Hands just rest on thighs or knees. As you inhale, you start to rock forward on your sit bones. So you're arching a lot in your lumbar. Chest is coming through the gates of your shoulders. Elbows are squeezing in. It's like little cobra pose in your upper body. As you exhale, you move in the opposite direction. So you rock to the backs of your sit bones. You start to let the chin release towards the chest. You stretch the back of the neck. Inhaling, arching. Exhaling, rounding in. And you're just going to continue like this. You're going to find a pace with your breath that feels really good in your body today. Some days we need to slow it down a little bit. Often that's true if we're feeling a little anxious, a little agitated. Conversely, if you're feeling a little lethargic today, maybe you speed the breath up. So we can start to use the breath as a tool to help modulate how we're feeling energetically. Maybe you'd like to start to add arms here. So you can just alternate, but as you're coming into that cow stretch, you reach one arm forward and up any amount. And then exhale, release down into that cat stretch, and then just continue like that. Maybe you even want to play with doing both arms reaching forward. Can also play with that. So anything that's feeling good here, just finding this sense of vinyasa, connecting movement with the breath. Beautiful work. Let's do a couple more rounds. Maybe you're noticing as you move with the breath like this, this also has a really calming quality on your mind. Good. Let's start to come back upright. I can hear the neighborhood twins screaming outside, enjoying the snow. All right, so sitting nice and tall. Let's inhale, stretch our arms out nice and wide. Good. As you exhale, gentle little twist to the right. Doesn't have to be very deep. Just going to flow like this a little bit. Inhale up to center. And then as you exhale, you start to twist to the left. Inhale back to center. Beautiful work. And again, you're just moving with your pace. So just finding that rhythm that feels good to you. Let's do one more to each side. Jim, you're going nice and easy with this. Anyone that feels, sometimes twisting can be a little challenging in the spine, it doesn't feel good, so you just go less far. As we exhale, we come in. Good, and then you can release. Left hand might come to the inside of your left thigh. If you're going a little deeper, it can come anywhere on that right thigh. Just grab a piece of chair behind you, that right hand. So wherever you're at, what we're looking for is for the shoulder heads to be pressing back. You're getting that openness across your heart and chest. And sometimes that might mean that we do need to go less far to find that sensation. We want to find lots of length in the spine here. So use your inhale to help you create that. As we exhale in these twists, as we empty out a little bit, sometimes we find that we can get in just like a micromillimeter more. And then maybe you're bringing your gaze out towards that right shoulder. Might not get all the way there. That's going to stretch out the neck a little bit for sure. And then let's go ahead, keep your body in the twist, but just bring your gaze out over that left shoulder. It might not get there. Just feeling that stretch in the neck. Notice if your right shoulder crept up to your right ear, soften it down. Good, deep inhale. As we exhale, we let go, unwind, come to center. Inhale, stretch arms out. Good, as we exhale, twist to the left. It need not be deep, this side might feel different. And then just release your hands down wherever feels good. Give yourself enough space so that you can press the shoulder heads back, that you can keep your spine nice and tall, nice and long as you inhale. Notice if there's anything different about this side as compared to the last side. And then maybe just start to play with your gaze. So you could move towards looking out over that left shoulder. That definitely shifts where you're getting the stretch in your neck. So always being mindful, not going too far. Good, and then we're just gonna keep our body in the twist here, but start to move towards gazing out over that right shoulder. You might not make it all the way there, that's fine. You just pause at the place where you're feeling a nice stretch through the left side of the neck. Again, keep both shoulders releasing down. They wanna creep up around the ears here. These look really nice. Breath smooth and steady, that inhale through your nose, that exhale through your nose. We often have to remind ourselves to come back to that. Good, nice deep inhale. As you exhale, just start to unwind, and let's roll the shoulders out again after that. And then let's just do a little more shoulder work before we get into the neck a little bit deeper. So if you do have a strap, you could use a towel, you could use a sweatshirt. So whatever you have, just find that. We're just gonna do some shoulder humblers here. So you're gonna take a pretty wide, yeah, nice, pretty wide grip here. All right, so sitting tall, rooting into your sit bones. As we exhale, let's just start to release that strap back behind us. So if you're tighter, you're gonna have to go wider. And conversely, you might not need to go back all the way to feel a good stretch. So inhale, we come up, and then exhale, we release forward. Good, inhale, keep stretching out. And then exhale, keep the arms straight as you reach back. Maybe that means you don't go quite as far. Also, if you're in on the strap a little tighter, inhale up to center. You're also not going to go back as far. Good. As you exhale, release forward. Good. Exactly. And Amy, you're doing great. Even if you don't have a strap, you can kind of feel this. All right. One more exhale. Release back. Good, keep the shoulders releasing down, and then inhale up. So let's hold here with the strap. So I want you to vigorously pull out, all right? And then as we exhale, we're gonna start to cactus our arms. So we're gonna bend the elbows, and it's just gonna shift where you feel that stretch. Nice work. As you inhale, press up. It's almost like you're pressing a barbell up. Exhale, pull out. But bend the elbows, release down. Beautiful, everyone. Let's do two more. Inhale up. Exhale, release down. Good, last one. Stretching up. Exhale, let's pull down here. Let's hold here. Keep pulling out on the strap, but squeeze your elbows in, and then drop your chin towards your chest. Couple of breaths. Good. All right. So bring your gaze forward. Inhale, lift up. You can lose the strap. Give the arms, the wrists, a little shake out. And then let's go ahead and get into the neck here. So you can just start with your hands resting on your thighs. Sitting nice and tall, start to lengthen the back of the neck. So you bring your chin towards your chest. The ears, or the shoulders rather, want to creep up around the ears. So keep softening them down. It might even help you in your body to just release your hands by your side. Good, and then just a few times going to the right. As you exhale, bring right ear towards right shoulder. Ooh. Inhale back to center. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Good. Inhale back to center. Just keeping your chin tucked this whole time. Couple more. Exhale. Right ear to right shoulder. Inhale to center. Good. Exhale. Inhale, come back to center. And then this time I want you to move nice and slow. So you take several breaths, keeping your chin tucked, bringing your right ear towards your right shoulder, but along the way, you're going to feel these intense sensations in the left side of your neck, kind of shoulder, scapula. So you hang out, take a breath or two any place that you need to. You can reach through those left fingertips a little more. That might intensify things. Notice if there's any tension in your face and jaw, it happens. So not this like big extravagant movement here, but sometimes these little ones are the most intense. They kind of pack the biggest punch. So again, also keep your breath smooth and steady. Use it to help you navigate the sensations you're feeling. And then finally, if you do want to bring your right hand to the top of your head, apply a little pressure, you're welcome to do so. Some days we don't need that. Good, and then let's just use our right hand to help upright the head. Good. As you exhale, chin towards chest. So letting the back of the neck release and lengthen. Easier said than done, but hopefully you are finding a little more space already and just taking a few breaths here. Moving slow. As you exhale, just keep your chin tucked. Bring your left ear towards your left shoulder. Good. Exhale to center. Inhale. Off to the left. How does this side feel different in your body? Does it feel different? Good. Exhale, come back to center. Couple more, nice and slow like this. It's kind of gently opening things up as we move with the breath. Good. One more. And then this time, as you make that journey off to the left, move really, really slow. Several breaths. There's no rush to get there. You're pausing in the places where you're getting sensation. You're breathing into those places. Maybe energetically reaching through those right fingers a little more. So there is a lot of sensation here. Don't tense up in places that you don't need to. Really nice work. Finally, if you'd like to take your left hand to the top of your head. Apply a little pressure. You're welcome to do it. If that feels like too much today, you skip it. Good, and then you can take your left hand to left cheek, upright your head. So let's roll the shoulders out again here. And roll them forward. Good, let's roll back again. And let's come into our cow-facing arms. So have a strap handy if you have one. And if not, I'm going to give another variation too. So you can take the strap, just place it over your right shoulder. All right. Good. So maybe just check in with your seat again. Make sure that you feel very steady and even and comfortable here. You're sitting nice and tall as you root down into feet, as you root down into sit bones. Let's stretch our right arm up. So palm is facing inward. And then I want you to see if you can feel almost like you're going to spin it behind you. And you can take your left hand to help you wrap that outer arm in a little more. So we're internally rotating. We want to try to hold on to that as we bend the elbow. Okay, so you can probably find your strap here. And then let's just start with left hand on top of right elbow, so gently pressing down. And this is a great stretch through the tricep. Might even be feeling it in the scapula a little bit. Good work, Amy. And as always, if these poses that I'm doing aren't working for you, you just explore. So you might stay here like this. This might be plenty. If you would like to reach that left arm off to the side, so palm faces forward, then we're going to spin our thumb to face down, so the palm is facing behind you. Bend the elbow. Good. Release the arm down. And then this is where I'm going to be opposite of you here. You might be grabbing both straps. So this is where the strap is a nice little useful tool, especially if you're a little tighter in the shoulders. The arms are doing two different things. So top arm is internally rotated. That elbow is reaching up. We're externally rotating this bottom arm. We're pressing this left shoulder head back. So there's this openness across the heart and chest. And as you can tell, again, this is one of those little stretches. It's pretty intense. Some days it's harder. Are you breathing? Keep that breath moving. Good, let's start to release here. So just take your arms at a diagonal. Nice. And then let's press the walls away. And you're going to feel this on the top of the arm. You're going to feel it in the wrists a little bit. So fingertips can point towards the ceiling any amount. It's actually really hard to do. Good. Deep inhale. And then as we exhale, we release the arms by the side. And then we just take a couple of breaths here. Let that go. Really let the shoulder blades release down. And then we'll set up for our second side. So strap can come over to that left shoulder if it was helpful for you. All right. I like the makeshift prop, Martha. Anything can become a yoga prop. All right, here we go. As we inhale, stretch that left arm up. And again, we're getting internal rotation, so it feels like you're squeezing that inner arm in towards your ear. You can use your left hand to help you find that a little more. And we challenge ourselves to hold on to that as we start to bend this left elbow. And you could also just keep reaching up and then just take little breaks when you need to. So some of us are going to take that right hand to the top of the left elbow. Just apply a little pressure. You feel this nice stretch in the tricep. This side might be really different. And then again, you're welcome to stay here like this. If you'd like to start to release your right arm off to the side, so start with that palm facing forward. And then spin your thumb down. Good, start to release the arm down, bend the elbow, and then grab a piece of strap. And then as you're doing this, you're really pressing that right shoulder head back as you lift your left elbow up. Breath smooth and steady. That inhale through your nose, that exhale through your nose. These look really good. Gaze soft and gentle out in front of you. Make sure that your jaw is nice and relaxed. Couple more breaths here. Good work, everyone. All right, so let's inhale, find that like diagonal stretch here. And then take your arms out perpendicular to your shoulders. Let's make fists with our wrists. And then start to circle around, which always feels really nice. I feel a little stretch in the forearm, a little stretch in the fingers. Switch directions. Good. And then as you exhale, release your arms by your side. Maybe take your hands on your thighs. Close your eyes here. Nice deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth. Sigh the breath out. Let it go. Ha. Good. And then let's just blink our eyes open. Let's do a few rounds of our half sun salute, just to flow with the breath. So we'll move slowly this first round. Having blocks might be really nice. If forward folding is harder in your body, you might have a table or a chair in front of you that you use to brace yourself so you don't come down quite as far. But so finding your nice mountain pose, your nice seat, lengthening through the sides of your waist, feeling this openness, this lift of your heart. Let's release our arms by our side. Good. From here, we're going to inhale, stretch arms out and up. You could also reach forward and up. Sometimes that feels better in your shoulders. I'm going to hold here for a couple of breaths. In fact, let's do a little lateral stretch. So let's all bring our right fingers to our left wrist, pull up on that side. Nice. And then as you exhale, lean to the right. Just take a couple of breaths here. Spinning these right ribs up, maybe even gazing up underneath that top arm. Inhale, back up to center, release the wrist, and then switch. So left fingertips grab that right wrist. It's like you're just helping yourself grow a little taller. Then you lean off to the left. So feeling this nice stretch through the right side. And again, nice is relative. It's intense. It's kind of like a heart so good. Keep that breath moving. Keep shoulder blades releasing down. Beautiful. As we inhale, we come back up to center. Maybe you bring your gaze up. And then as we exhale, we're going to come into our forward fold. So you can swan dive in. Some of us might feel a little more steady. And just using our hands to help us roll down. So fingertips might be on blocks here. Again, you might be more upright, just resting on a table in front of you or a chair. They're both really good. Wherever you're at, do let the back of your neck lengthen and release. So it's a little bit of that feeling of chin coming towards your chest. Using gravity here to help us find space between the discs and our vertebra. Good. So we're going to start to extend forward on our inhale. So this can be where it's really nice to have blocks to press your hands into. And if you don't, hands on thighs is really good. So there's a little bend in the lower back here, but we're really lengthening through the sides. Your gaze is soft and gentle out in front of you. And then you can think elbows squeezing in a little bit here. So this kind of looks like a seated cobra pose. Good. And then as we exhale, we fold back in any amount. So deeper if that feels good in your body. Otherwise, a little gentler if that's what you need today. And then from here, we're going to make our way back into that extended mountain pose. So you might start to roll up. You might take your arms out and up, forward and up. Either way. So stretching here. Good couple of breaths. Again, maybe start to bring your gaze up. And then exhale, you can bring hands down the center. If it feels good to take arms out wide. All right, so we're going to do 2 more of those. This time we're just going to flow with the breath. So just connecting it together. You can add on, you can subtract, just mostly let this feel really good. So Surya Namaskara, inhaling, arms reach. Good. As you exhale, you fold in Uttanasana. Inhale, you're in your half forward fold, Ardha Uttanasana. Beautiful work, everybody. As you exhale, you fold back in. Good. Inhale, however you want to make your way back in to your extended mountain pose. And then as you exhale, hands come together at your heart. And I lied. Let's do 2 more. I'm not going to cue you these next 2. You're just going to move with your breath. You can follow along with me if that feels good. It's really nice to just do these at our own pace. Kind of get inside. Notice what's going on. Enjoy the sense of rhythm that you're creating in your body. It feels really good. For a lot of us, as we connect movement with breath, it has this calming quality. Feels like this moving meditation. And there's absolutely no rush when you're done with that second round. And just come back to that seated mountain pose. Palms together at your heart, maybe closing your eyes. And just checking in with the physical sensations happening. Maybe you're breathing a little faster. Maybe the heart's beating a little faster. You might be feeling some heat. All really good things. I always feel a little lighter and happier after sun salutes. That might just be me, but there's something kind of magical about them. They're good at chasing the grumps away. All right, so let's blink our eyes open, release our arms by our side, and let's come into some downward facing dog poses today. So I'm going to go ahead and spin my chair on the side of the mat. So using another chair that you have handy, you can be using a table or a desk in front of you. And I'm actually, for this first one, I'm going to spin my chair so that the tall end is facing towards me. All right. So, and you're just going to kind of have to adjust a little bit here. So let's, couple of ways that you can come into this. It might feel better to just start to hinge forward and stretch arms forward. And you might want to do that for the first one, just so you can find that kind of the right distance for your chair. You also might stretch arms out and up and then lengthen. So they're both good ways to arrive at the same place. All right, and then you can just kind of keep your gaze slightly forward, maybe even looking down between your feet. And then go ahead and let your ears start to release down between your biceps, so that inner arm. So again, the back of the neck is nice and long. Good. And you can even energize your fingers a little bit. So as you press down into the heel of the hand, you can spread the fingers. These look really good. That breath is smooth and steady. As you inhale, you're lengthening through the sides of your waist. As you exhale, you're feeling really rooted down into your palms, into your sit bones, into your feet. Good. And there's also this sensation of inner arm wrapping towards outer arm. So the more you can kind of press down into your hands, the more you're going to be able to access that. As you start to find that sensation, it's going to feel like you're widening across the backs of your shoulders a little bit. Good. Let's slowly start to come on up here. And again, however you want to do that. So you can pull one hand back, then the other. Good. And then just taking a couple of breaths. So you're welcome to stay with the higher end of the chair towards you. I'm going to go ahead and flip mine. And then that can just be kind of nice. It gives you a full flat surface to press your hands into. But again, it's not necessary. So if you felt good where you were at, just stay there. All right, so energetically pressing into your sit bones. Before we even come into the full expression of the pose, we're feeling all of this length through the sides of the waist. And then again, let's start to hinge forward. Stretch one arm forward, then the other. And kind of just depending upon how you're built, you're gonna gauge how far you need that chair in front of you. So also with hands down a little lower, you come into this a little deeper. So as my ears release between my inner arms, I just start to gaze like an inch or two in front of my feet. Arms are really active here. So we want to have a little weight bearing in this pose. We want to feel the muscle firm to bone. Good, couple more breaths. As you inhale, just start to make your way out of this downward dog. So just coming back to your mountain pose. Taking a couple of breaths, and let's turn this into a little, like a little twisted downward dog. So, I would say if twists are a little more intense in your body, you'll want to have your hand probably on the high part of the chair. You can gauge that. I'm going to give you a couple of options here. But let's go ahead, start to hinge forward at the waist, and let's take our right hand and place it somewhere on the chair. And to start out, let's just take that left thumb into our left hip, and then you can gently pull back. Press this left shoulder head up. And then maybe you start to wrap those right ribs up towards the ceiling. Nice, Scott. Maybe you're looking up over that left shoulder. You might stay here like this. You might start to reach back through your left, your left fingertips. And you don't have to lift that arm up. Just keep shoulders nice and even. Yeah. So it's almost like even a twisted triangle pose in the upper body. These look really good. Good, let's exhale, release that left hand back down. If you took that variation, bring your torso to face forward. So just coming out of that little twist and then roll on up. All right. And then we'll take that to the second side. So hinging forward, hold on to this length. Your left palm is going to press onto that chair in front of you. And then you can bring your right fingertip to that right hip crease, gently pull back, and then start to wrap left ribs to the right. You're leaning this right shoulder head back. Oh, these look really good. You might stay here like this. Maybe you start to lengthen that right arm up. Keep breathing here. Try to fill up on the inhale. It's tricky when we're in these deeper twists. And you can also, your gaze can be a few different places. So if there's tension in the neck, the shoulders, you're just looking at your fingertips or just slightly in front of you. A few of us might begin to look back at that right thumb. Nice deep inhale. Good. As you exhale, just release that right hand down. If you took that variation, start to release your right ribs down. So you're just squaring off there. And then come on up. And when we get there, let's roll the shoulders back a few times. All right, so let's see. Since we have chairs and straps, we're already kind of in this configuration. We're going to potentially use them here. So have your strap handy. You may or may not need it. And I'm going to give you a couple of options on this. So we're going to use the chair. We're going to kind of come into a nice little hamstring stretch here. So let's take our right foot up onto the chair if that is available and if the prop that you're using works. The other variation would be to simply just extend your right leg to straight. All right. So just depending on your setup and what's going on in your body, you're going to decide what's best for you. All right. So already just sitting upright like this, I'm getting a pretty nice intense stretch in the backside of my right leg. So maybe for some of us, this is where we stay. Depending upon how balanced and safe you feel at your setup, maybe you start to hinge forward. So this is for the people that are a little more flexible. Probably most of us are going to actually take our strap around the foot, and then you can walk your hand down any amount, but it's nice because it helps you to keep this length inside your body. And you could also just be doing that with the leg extended straight on the floor as well. And if none of those options are feeling good to you, turn this into more of a balance pose. So coming into a crescent, just stretching your arms up and over, that would also be really good. And just holding this for a few breaths. So whatever you're needing today, we're just going to take a few breaths here. So all doing good things, they all just kind of do it a little differently. Nice work, everybody. All right, so whatever variation you're in, you're going to just start to make your way out. Good, and then we're going to find that second side. So again, maybe you just extend left leg to straight. You could take the strap around your foot there and be upright. Maybe you come into a crescent pose. If you're wanting the nice seated hamstring stretch, and do you feel safe, it's accessible in your body to put that left heel on the chair, you're welcome to do that. And then again, this can look a couple different ways too. You could also be reaching up. You might be folding in any amount. As you do that, you're going to feel this stretch on the hamstring. If you're a little tighter, the strap is nice. It helps us to articulate the foot, but also find that stretch while keeping the length through the sides of the waist. Check in with your breath again here. Are you still breathing? Nice work. Looks good, Jean. And it goes without saying too, you can also skip any of these poses. All right, so we're going to make our way out of this side. And then let's go ahead and find a little restorative pose. Since we have the chair here, let's come in to just a little seated child's pose here. So you might even take some blankets on the chair. Again, if you're not going for a really deep back bend, having a little more height is going to be nice, and you can just fold your arms across the top of the chair. Maybe put a blanket there if it kind of gives you any sensation in the arms that don't feel good. And we're going to hang out here for, a couple of minutes. So really actively start to slow your breath down. If doing this forward fold variation, this supported child's pose doesn't feel good, you are welcome to come into a full forward fold. You could also just be seated upright, so just in quiet meditation. So see what feels good for you. You're welcome to play with turning to one cheek and then the other. You can also just be resting on your forehead. That has a really nice calming quality. And then let's play with our 4-part breath here in this pose. So let's go ahead and take a nice deep inhale. Full complete exhale. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. So you continue like that. You change up the count if you need to, so it can move faster, it can move slower, but just find that symmetry, that evenness. Try not to clench and hold and grip during the pauses. As much as possible, stay soft and relaxed. And with this breath work, some days it feels really good, some days it can be really challenging. So if it's not happening for you today, just breathe normally. Good, and then just finish up the round that you're on. So you'll finish on the pause on the exhale, And then you'll just return to normal breathing. And from here, we're going to move towards our final resting pose. So if you're comfortable in this supported child's pose, you're welcome to stay there. Otherwise, if you prefer to roll on up and sit quietly, you can do that. If it's easy for you to get on the floor and come into classic Shavasana, you're also welcome to do that. So just find a place where you can be these final moments. You don't have to worry about manipulating your breath at all. Just allow it to find its own natural rhythm. Feel easy in your body. Give yourself permission not to worry about that to-do list yet, not to worry about anything that might be stressing you out. Instead, soak up this quiet. Make contact with that place inside of you that is wise and creative and knows what you need. And Shavasana. Good. So take a nice deep inhale. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. And just start to bring some gentle movement back to your body. Wiggle, stretch, anything that feels good. And then just bringing your palms together at your heart, or you can pile them on top of your heart, whatever feels good there. Just check in one final time and notice how you feel. Notice what shifted for you this past hour. Send yourself, send your body love and gratitude. It really is a gift to be able to work like this and move like this and spend time together in this community. Finally, just promise yourself that you're going to carry a little of this good feeling that you've worked so hard to create with you into the rest of the day, the rest of the week ahead. With a smile, just start to bow your head. Really beautiful work today, everybody. Thank you. Stay warm. Namaste.